Come, whoever you are welcome here. No matter your age, your size, the color of your eyes, your hair, your skin, you are welcome here. No matter your gender, whom you love, how you speak, or whatever your abilities, you are welcome here. No matter your you are welcome here whether you have come with laughter in your heart or tears in your eyes. You are welcome here. No matter what you experienced in the past, no matter what awaits you in the future, you are welcome here. Whether you believe in God all of the time, some of the time, or none of the time, you are welcome here. This is a community of open minds, loving hearts, and willing hands.
Thank you, Spencer. Good morning. Good morning. And welcome to South Valley Unitarian Universalist Society. My name is Caitlin. My pronouns are she and her. I am a white, femme-presenting person of about average height with pink hair, a pink and purple top, and dark jeans today. And it's my privilege to be your worship associate for this morning's service. Our worship leader today is Court, and our beloved Reverend Lora is back. Woo! We are very happy you're back. I have some announcements for you this morning. Our auction is coming up November 8th at 7 p.m. If it's not already on your calendar, put it on now. You all have calendars on your phones. The theme is Movies in the Moonlight. Costumes are encouraged but not required. And there will be a new website at some point, so check for that coming through in happenings. The other announcement is Starting Point is ongoing. So if you missed the September session, there are more coming up. There's a clipboard out in the lobby, and this is for everyone. So if you're new, feel free to go sign up and find out what South Valley and UUism is all about. If you've been around a while, this is also for you. Feel free to go sign up. Everyone is welcome. We are going to take a moment to fully arrive, and before we get up and chat, let us greet our virtual community on Zoom. So turn around, say hi. We're glad you all found us this morning too, and we'll take a few minutes to greet each other.
Good morning. This is a very meditative song. If you want to stand, if you want to sit, you might even end up closing your eyes, who knows. This chant was brought by our South Valley youth when there was a gathering of UUs from all across the nation who were gathering for a protest at an Arizona immigration detention center years ago. We're still protesting. There was concern, there was fear, there was tension, didn't know what would happen. A lot of people coming together. And our South Valley UU started to chant this. And other UUs joined in, and it centered everyone to move forward with the protest. This is a very powerful song.
Good morning, South Valley. Good morning. I am the Reverend Lora Young, if you haven't met me yet, or if it's been 4 months and you don't remember. Good morning, I'm Reverend Lora Young. My pronouns are she, her, and hers, and I am a tall, red-haired white woman with purple glasses and beads that I bought in Italy on one of my travels. It is so good to be back among you. Thank you to every single one of you who participates in this community, and however you participate, for giving me the gift of time to renew and to be restored, because it turns out the world's problems didn't get solved in the last 4 months, which, maybe next time we'll be more successful in that. And I had a lot of time to observe, what was happening in the world and to be present with it, just as a human being. Not as your minister, but just as a human being. And one of the clearest messages that I sort of meditated on and reflected on in my time away was that the world might be an effing dumpster fire out there, but in here, it's not. In here, it's not. In here, this is a community, as Spencer said, of loving minds, or open minds, loving hearts, and helping hands. And that is what we are going to continue to be. So I encourage you now just to breathe in with me one more time. And let's hold a moment of silence for the passing of Earth's closest friend and fiercest advocate, Jane Goodall. What a clear voice for hope that she was. What a clear voice for hope that she was. And she often wrote a lot about hope, and she said, hope is often misunderstood. People tend to think that it is simply passive, wishful thinking. I hope something will happen, but I'm not going to do anything about it. This is indeed the opposite of real hope, which requires action and engagement. Action and engagement. So breathe in with me one more time. We breathe in peace, we breathe out love, we breathe in hope, we breathe out engaged, active hope, knowing that we are the ones that we have been waiting for. Let us take this time this morning to celebrate and honor that. From the ground beneath our legs, to the space above our heads, to the extension of our hands and fingers, as we reach out to pull each other close and to find our way through. Let us be together in joy. Amen. And let us light our chalice in honor of that. You can stand if you'd like. You don't have to. But I know you know our chalice lighting words. And if you're in our at-home audience, please feel free to tell us the name of your street and that the chalice is lit. Thanks for coming up, Brinley. So, we light this chalice for the warmth of love, for the light of truth, and for the energy of action, and the flames of resistance. You may be seated.
Good morning. My name is Sinnamon Wolfe. I am a member of the Sabbatical team who was assembled to kind of help organize the church and kind of keep us going while Reverend Lora was on her sabbatical. And I just want to take a moment to thank our members of our caring circle. So will our members of our caring circle please join me up here? So for those of you who don't know, the Caring Circle sort of works in the background while on sabbatical, but also with Reverend Lora while she's here. They provide support for our community, for those who are going through difficult times. They provide meals, transportation, and pastoral care when needed. And they are also assisted by members of our congregation who volunteer to provide meals. So here we have Court and Aaron. They are newer members of the Caring Circle, but they have helped us update and organize the sign-up sheets that go to our meal train volunteers and to coordinate food deliveries. During the sabbatical, they have reached out to several congregants in difficult circumstances. So, and Janice, here next to Maureen, is a longtime member of this committee and has provided many hours of caring and support. And then we've got Kevin and Peter here on the end. And Kevin and Peter are geniuses, according to Maureen here, at figuring out what people need and making it happen. And then Maureen here is the coordinator and kind of lead of the Caring Circle. And so she even reached out to me recently, offering support. So please give a hand to our Caring Circle. Thank you so much.
Okay, South Valley, it is the first Sunday in October, and you know what that means if you've been here on a first Sunday. It's birthday blessing. So if you have a birthday in the month of October, please come down to the front if you are willing and able, so that we may wish you a good month. And so join me collectively in blessing these beautiful, resplendent souls that are part of our community. May this coming year be one of the best kind of adventure, one that enlivens your heart, opens your mind, and encourages you to be the very best version of yourself that is possible. May you know that you are loved when times are hard, and may the hands and the hearts of the people of this community support you whenever it is that you need it, be it just a grumpy morning before you have to go to work, or something more trying and difficult in your life. We are here together as a community. We are so glad that you are born and blessed with your presence here this morning. Happy birthday. And let's now sing out our children to their religious exploration classes.
This community, our church, and its many ministries are only made possible by the gifts of your time, your talent, and your treasure. Many of you pledge monthly to support our work, and for this we are truly grateful. Your gifts help to ensure that we are able to live our values of love and justice in the world outside. Part of our ministry at South Valley includes sharing our Sunday worship offering with a charitable organization that aligns with our principles and values. Our partner for September and October is Utah Community Action. Please join me in reading our offertory words. They're printed in your order of service, and also they'll be printed on the board up here. We are this church.
We are its hands, its heart, its voice. Together we share the wealth of this community and sustain it with our gifts.
I now invite the ushers to come forward, and if you're online, you're invited to use the giving link in our online order of service. For all we have received and all we have found the courage to give, may we be truly grateful. May these gifts be a blessing to South Valley and to Utah Community Action. I didn't introduce myself before the offertory because it didn't feel right, but now is the time to tell you that my name is Cortney Bouldin. I'm the worship leader for today. My pronouns are he and him. I am a tall man with very short hair and a black sweatshirt that is merch from one of my favorite poets. So it says at the bottom that I am not done growing. And this is something I got from Andrea Gibson. So today we're going to pay homage to poetry, and it feels appropriate to do that in the dark. So I'm going to ask Palmer to turn the lights down. I started a new journey. It includes attempting to explain what we do here to people that are unfamiliar with Unitarian Universalism. People have so many assumptions about religion that I can explain with words what we value and what we do, but then people misunderstand how what I've explained can feel like what they know of religion. In the struggle to convey meaning, not just concept, I found myself turning to poetry. The attempt here is to bridge gaps. Because what is religion if it isn't a connection to something larger than yourself? As a result, I've started curating lists of poems for different occasions. And in this, I have found a new love for poetry. Poems convey emotion. When read aloud, good poetry allows people to connect around feelings, despite the fact that the lenses through which we view the world are very different. We are all at least familiar with this idea because our welcome words, which are read by Spencer this morning, come, come, whoever you are, these are in fact a poem. These words, when spoken, elicit a reaction in us. So many small group ministry sessions involve professing a love and connection to these words that people felt when they walked in the door. They are powerful, and we are feeling something as a collective. The world is such a swirl right now, and it is so easy to feel isolated. Connecting as a collective feels like some of the medicine that we need. For today's worship, I've made a list of poems for you. To keep the voices varied, Caitlin and I will take turns reading them, and Reverend Lora will do the honors of reading us the last poem. The invitation for you, what I'm hoping that you will do, is instead of just listening to the words, I'm asking you to think about what emotions come up as the words wash over you. How might these emotions be similar with your neighbor's emotions? How might they be different? Be curious about that. And the last question I want you to meditate on is, are there larger community connections that can be forged by feeling things together? Remember your self-care in this effort. Some of these poems go to truly dark places. Please stay with discomfort. Your neighbor might be feeling discomfort too, and there might be something in that that can change it for you. But if trauma comes up, or this isn't working for you, even if you don't know the reason why, don't be afraid to stand up and leave the room. My feelings will not be hurt. I don't think anybody up here's feelings will be hurt by your own self-care. You are more important than this shared experience. I want to name that before we start. You are more important than this shared experience. So methodology. We'll start each poem with a brief description of the poet. It feels very important for me to let the poems speak for themselves, but I think knowing something about the poet can be illuminating. After a brief description of the poet, we'll hold a moment of silence. You can use this as a cue to close your eyes if you wish. When the poem is over, expect another moment of silence before moving on. During this time, you can do whatever you want, but I recommend opening your eyes slowly with a soft focus. You ready to begin? Yes. All right. Our first poem was written by Mae Swenson. Mae Swenson was born in Utah in the early 20th century. She graduated from Utah State University. She moved around a lot, but finished her life with 20 years in New York State. She died in 1989, and her gravesite can be visited in Logan, Utah. There is a granite bench there that is etched with her poetry. The poem I've selected is called Water Picture. In the pond, in the park, all things are doubled. Long buildings hang and wriggle gently. Chimneys are bent legs bouncing on clouds below. A flag wags like a fishhook down there in the sky. The arched stone bridge is an eye with underlid in the water. In its lenses, dip crinkled heads with hats that don't fall off. Dogs go by, barking on their backs, a baby taken to feed the ducks dangling upside down, a pink balloon for a buoy. Treetops deploy a haze of cherry bloom for roots, where birds coast belly up in the glass bowl of a hill. From its bottom, a bunch of peanut-munching children is suspended by their sneakers waveringly. A swan with twin necks forming the figure 3 steers between 2 dimpled towers doubled. Fondly hissing, she kisses herself, and all the scene is troubled. Water windows splinter, Tree limbs tangle, the bridge folds like a fan.
Paul Tran is a contemporary poet that uses they-them pronouns. They are a survivor, and their poetry offers a voice to others that have survived. Paul is currently a professor at the University of Wisconsin-Madison. The selected poem is called Bioluminescence. There is a dark so deep beneath the sea, the creatures beget their own light. This feat, this act of adaptation, I could say, is beautiful, though the creatures are hideous. Lanternfish, hatchetfish, viperfish. I, not unlike them, forfeited beauty to glimpse the world hidden by eternal darkness. I subsisted on falling matter, unaware from where or why matter fell, and on weaker creatures beguiled by my luminosity. My hideous face opening suddenly to take them into a darkness darker and more eternal than this underworld underwater. I swam and swam toward nowhere and nothing. I, after so much isolation, so much indifference, kept going, even if going meant only waiting, hovering in place. So far below, so far away from the rest of life, the terrestrial made possible by and thereby dependent upon light, I did what I had to do. I stalked. I killed. I wanted to feel in my body at work, working to stay alive. I swam. I kept going. I waited. I found myself without meaning to, without contriving meaning at the time, in the company of creatures who, hideous like me, had to be their own illumination, their own God, their own Genesis. Often we feuded. Often we fused like anglerfish, blood to blood, desire to desire. We were wild, bewildered, beautiful in our wilderness and wildness. In the most extreme conditions, we proved that life can exist. I exist. I am my life, I thought, approaching at last the bottom of the sea. It wasn't the bottom. It wasn't the sea.
Rainer Maria Rilke was an Austrian poet who died in 1926. His works were written in German and have been revered and translated by many. The following poem was translated by Joanna Macy and Anita Barrows. It is from Sonnets to Orpheus, and it is called Let This Darkness Be a Bell Tower. Quiet friend who has come so far. Feel how your breathing makes more space around you. Let this darkness be a bell tower, and you, the bell. As you ring, what batters you becomes your strength. Move back and forth into the change. What is it like, such intensity of pain? If the drink is bitter, turn yourself to wine. In this uncontainable night, be the mystery at the crossroads of your senses, the meaning discovered there. And if the world has ceased to hear you, say to the silent earth, I flow. To the rushing water, speak, I am.
Ada Limon is a contemporary poet of Mexican-American descent. She was named the 24th Poet Laureate of the United States, which made her the first Latina to earn the title. She's also a MacArthur Fellow and on the faculty at Queen's University in Charlotte, North Carolina. The selected poem is called Wonder Woman. Standing at the swell of the muddy Mississippi after the urgent care doctor had just said, well, sometimes shit happens, I fell fast and hard for New Orleans all over again. Pain pills swirling in the purse along with a spell for later. It's taken a while for me to admit I am in a raging battle with my body, a spinal column 35 degrees bent. Vertigo that comes and goes like a DC Comics villain nobody can kill. Invisible pain is both a blessing and a curse. You always look so happy, said a stranger once, as I shifted to my good side, grinning. But that day, alone on the riverbank, brass blaring from the steamboat Natchez, out of the corner of my eye, I saw a girl. Maybe half my age, dressed for no apparent reason as Wonder Woman. She strutted by in all her strength and glory, invincible, eternal, and when I stood to clap, because who wouldn't have, she bowed and posed like she knew I needed a myth. A woman by a river, indestructible.
Roger Robinson is a contemporary poet that has lived in England and Trinidad. He has published several poetry collections, including A Portable Paradise, which won the T.S. Eliot Prize in 2019. We'll end our session with his poem that shares the name of the book. A Portable Paradise. And if I speak of paradise, then I'm speaking of my grandmother, who told me to carry it always on my person, concealed, so that no one else would know but me. That way they can't steal it, she'd say. And if life puts you under pressure, trace its ridges in your pocket. Smell its piney scent on your handkerchief. Hum its anthem under your breath. And if your stresses are sustained and daily, get yourself to an empty room, be it a hotel, hostel, or hovel. Find a lamp and empty your paradise onto a desk, your white sands, green hills, and fresh fish. Shine the lamp on it like the fresh hope of morning and keep staring at it until you sleep. May these poems have been a blessing and a balm for the tired spots in your heart. May we settle in to this quiet space.
It's time to turn the lights back on and sing. So we'll be doing 1072, Evening Breeze. It's another chant. Thank you for that. It's a little bit of an effort to do a round. We tried. It's important to try new things, right? It's time to extinguish our chalice. Please stand if you wish for extinguishing of the chalice. Join us in our actions if you would like. The words are in your order of service and printed on the screen. We extinguish this chalice, but not the warmth of love, the light of truth, nor the energy of action. We hold each other in our hearts until we meet again. Thank you so much for participating in this exercise. As you go forth to coffee hour and beyond, please know that wherever you are and whatever you're feeling, you are not alone.